Guys, they're starting to figure it out. They're finally starting to realize that the turning point that just happened in our culture is going to affect everything for the next 30 and 40 years. When I told you early on in this assassination that Martin Luther King Jr.'s assassination and Charlie Kirk's assassination shared in the fact that they were both turning points for our culture, guys, I'm sticking to it because now data's coming out showing liberal and very liberal are perfectly fine with violence and they're okay with being happy about it as well. And even the media is figuring out that the repulsion of the reaction to the left, to the insane mockery, to the glee that we saw in the wake of the political assassination of Charlie Kirk is going to destroy the Democrats and the left forever. And you know what? I'm just going to put a little fan right here and let the ashes go right into the dustbin of history, because this is a bigger mission than anything we've been involved with before. And if you want to join that mission, guys, if you want to take your place and save this freaking country, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on, because where we're going is full throttle freedom. And I hope you guys join that, because Charlie Kirk's memory deserves exactly that. All right. You guys can follow me on X at Braden LOA if you want, but I want to jump right into this because I want to show you exactly what I've been talking about for 5 to 7 days. When this assassination happened, something occurred that was horrible and awful, emotion evoking on both sides. The celebration, the overt glee, the demonic screams of joy on all the internet profiles of all the far leftists celebrating the political assassination and murder of someone who was opposing thought to them politically. Everyone saw it. The mask completely slipped, and the American people were all looking when that mask slipped, and every single one of them was aghast at what they saw, with the exception of the people who I'm about to show you in this poll. And then the media comes after that. Every single person was aghast. Now, a lot of people want vengeance. They want the anger to have an outlet. I'm going to tell you right now, if you want to completely and totally destroy the political violent left, all you have to do is spread this content out. Spread every time they have a microphone. Spread every time they have a video. Every single time, because they will do it to themselves. Hold up a mirror and let them be shown. Because that will do more damage to the one thing that they hold more dear than anything else in this entire universe, and that is political power to inflict on others who disagree. Every bit of political power will be stripped away from them the more you show the psychopathy behind the mask that is dropping. I promise you, it's not easy, but bones and bruises will always heal. Taking away the political power of a far left, violent, rhetoric-induced organization or political party or ties to the Democrats will hurt them in more ways than you possibly ever could physically. This is the battle for the soul of America, and this is how you do it, by sharing and showing, okay? Let me get into this. I'm going to show you the reason I'm saying this. Of the people from a YouGov poll who agree it's okay to be happy about the death of a political figure they oppose, very liberal, 24%, and liberal is 10%. So 34% of the people who are aligned to the liberal or very liberal are perfectly fine being happy and gleeful for their political opponent who is talking on a college campus, the place where you can have exchange of ideas, because they didn't agree with him politically. 34%. Kind of shocks it, doesn't it? Conservatives, very conservatives, 7% collectively. 7% compared to 34%. But now let's get down to the next one. Those that agree violence can be justified to achieve political goals. Very liberal, 25%. Liberal, 17%. 42%. More than those that thought it was okay to be gleeful about it. More are involved in accepting the fact that violence basically achieves political goals. 42% liberal and very liberal. Conservatives, 6 and 9%. 6 and 3% rather. So 9% versus 42%. Oh, I've got all the data right here. It's all from YouGov. That's all the graphical representation. You can source it. Everything's linked. I always bring receipts. But this is all to build up to this one point. The media is even starting to realize. Guys, we were at the beginning of a revolution in this country, a turning point in this country towards the country's benefit, towards the patriotic Americans who believe in all of our ideals, all of our constitutional rights. They don't believe in the overt destruction of anyone who disagrees with them. Because if you look through history, it's very simple which side does that. Communist and socialist. Everything must die for the greater good. That is exactly what happens. Now, and before someone goes in the comments and says, oh, what about the Nazis? The Nazis were socialists. So just saying it out there. All right, let's get into this. This is a media hit last night that really struck a chord. Listen to this.
So I was talking to two young men this weekend. One is a registered Democrat. The other is what he would call an independent or moderate Republican. Neither one of them agreed with very much of what Charlie Kirk said. But they had watched Kirk's videos on campuses for years as Kirk debated students and anyone else who wanted to stand in line for the chance to prove me wrong, as Charlie Kirk put it, and they respected that. They admired his willingness to debate and Kirk's skill at it, even when they didn't always agree with his positions. Now, one of those young men voted for Kamala Harris in the last election. The other did not. But both of them separately told me this weekend they will never vote for a Democrat again.
Whoa, hold the phone. Why? The Democrat Party didn't pull the trigger. The Democrat Party wasn't on the roof. Why would they have that natural reaction? It goes back to what I said in multiple earlier videos. Because it is a rot and a cancer within the Democratic Party. They are tied directly to the far left because they're getting and gaining power from the far left in the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party is either going to separate from them completely or they are going to continue to embrace them. And the more that they embrace them, the more people will never vote for Democrat again. When I say that the turning point happened, this is what I'm referencing. The natural reaction, the natural disgust, and the repulsive nature of what everyone saw when that mask slipped is what's going to be associated with Democrats forever. In this generation, everyone who is alive and old enough to understand, which starts at about 15 years old, is going to remember this forever. A good example of this would be the FDR Democrat, Republican, Blue Dog Democrat vibe. The Reagan Democrat. That's what you're talking about. The FDR Democrat. These people were with them forever because they had that connection and that shared experience. This just happened on the entire nation. Let's keep on going. I got some more for you.
Both said their social media feeds were filled with far-left agitators celebrating Kirk's assassination or saying he somehow deserved to be killed because of the provocative and perhaps even offensive things that Kirk said. These young men know that the Democratic Party leaders have all publicly condemned the killing. They know that these far-left agitators do not represent the Democratic Party writ large. But they found these videos and these posts cheering on a murder so disturbing, so reprehensible, it has turned them off of the Democratic Party altogether. They are not the only ones who feel this way or who are horrified at people making light of murder. People are now losing their jobs for posting such things. Liberals are turning on other liberals who are publicly expressing sympathy for Kirk. And we've all seen many examples of...
Okay, so now she's going to go down the road of the Office Depot stuff, and honestly, that is not the important piece. Here's what's going to happen next. And I'm making a prediction, and I very rarely make predictions on this channel. What's going to happen next is the left is going to feel, the far left, they are going to feel out of control. They're going to feel like they don't have any type of sway. They feel like they're going to lose political power, so they're going to continue to do things that are agitating. For example, desecration. We already saw that they desecrated the memorial of Charlie Kirk. That kid got arrested. I showed you. Then they're going to start finding murals and artwork of Charlie Kirk, and they're going to start putting out far left calls to go destroy it. Rest in hell. Right there. Nazi, free Palestine. The bee is dead. Womp womp. The only good Nazi is a dead Nazi. The more we show this, the more people get driven straight away from the left. That's the entire point. Don't Don't resort to anything that's going to be temporary and can heal. Go after the very perception of the people that you are talking about. Share everything. All the videos, all the cameras, all the mics, all the imagery, all the posts, everything. Show everything. Because we don't have to work to make them look awful. All we got to do is put a spotlight on it, because sunlight is one hell of a disinfectant. And that is what I've got for you guys today. I hope I landed this plane. Let me know what you think in the comments field below. My name is Braden. I'll see you later.